Moscow has actually successfully reasserted itself as the dominant political force and security provider in Eurasia. In contrast with Ukraine currently, the other former Soviet states have now either been pressured into closer political and security relations with Moscow or into a more neutral, marginal international status. Just as a couple of examples, you already mentioned actually Moldova and some of the other republics here, but I'll just give a couple of key examples from the last couple of years. In Georgia, for example, 14 years after Russia's August 2008 invasion, the current government is, I would say, more on the back foot than it has been before, treading very carefully with Russia, more so than its predecessors. Georgia's former president, Mikhail Saakashvili, who was a perennial thorn in Moscow's side, now sits in jail in Tbilisi after an ill-advised return to Georgia in October 2021. Although Russia can't claim direct credit for this, Russian officials nonetheless and commentators frequently use Saakashvili and his fate as a cautionary tale for the rest of the region, including Ukraine. In summer 2020, in Armenia, President Nikol Pashinyan, another leader who's fallen out of favor with Moscow, saw his domestic position and former foreign policy autonomy crushed by the war with Azerbaijan. Given the fact that Russia and Armenia have a long-standing defense pact and Russian forces are permanently based in Armenia, Azerbaijan's military assault to retake territory occupied by Armenia for the last 3 decades was unlikely to have been feasible without a green light from Moscow. And Russia has now exploited the 2020 war to introduce its military forces into Nagorno-Karabakh, sidelining the OSCE Minsk group. Elsewhere, Belarusian strongman Alexander Lukashenko has been forced back into the fold after a disastrous presidential election on his part in the last year. And in January 2022, so just in the last month, Russia and its regional security alliance, the Collective Security Treaty Organization, or CSTO, were of course called in to quash protests and to quell a political power struggle in Kazakhstan. This was the first time that this CSTO was deployed on the territory of a member country. So Russia feels emboldened by all of these developments in Eurasia. From Russia's perspective, the United States played no significant role in addressing these upheavals. And the United States, again from Russia's perspective, seems grievously weakened at home and abroad. For Vladimir Putin, again this is his view, America's political disarray mirrors Russia's predicament immediately after the dissolution of the USSR and offers a rare opportunity.